to Pat Mahomes in just a second, but first, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Ja Morant loses the defender, nice behind the back move before making the layup.
A great move by Ja, who's sensational. He's going to win Rookie of the Year, but the Pels get their potential Rookie of the Year back Wednesday. Zion Williamson.
It's a lock. Is there any chance Zion could do anything?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't not enough time.
Yeah.
Blazers, Warriors, what a night for Dame Lillard. The nasty step-back three, part of a monster evening for him, Nick.
61 in the overtime victory over the just awful Golden State Warriors. Hey, listen, 2 All-Stars, Defensive Player of the Year. It's just not enough for the Warriors to be anything other than awful. It's a shame. But great game by Dame for a Blazers team that needed the win.
Lakers, Celtics, Jaylen Brown driving, rising up over LeBron. Finishes with the big two-handed slam.
What was the final of that game?
That's right.
139-107. It was a 32-point victory for the Boston
I don't think
Celtics.
Jordan ever lost by that much.
Oh, my God. By the way, Jaylen Brown, you're playing really well for that contract. You don't need that little taunting technical there. It's unnecessary.
Mount St. Mary's taking on St. Francis. Nana Opoku just posterizes the defender with that.
Yeah, but this is what the defender gets. You try to take a charge, you then flop, you flop to the side.
You sure
it doesn't even
hit in the head?
Yeah, he took a knee to the face, but if you're going to take a knee to the face, just stand there and take the charge.
What? Or contest or get out of the way, or Nana Opoku is going to poke on you and crush you like that.
Big as that dude is, get out of the way.
Yeah, I think so, too.
You're going to lose.
Here we go. Time to play Take Your Pick, starting with a cross-sport question. Pat Mahomes is going for his first ring to go along with his MVP. LeBron has 3 titles and 4 MVPs. Who do you think is more valuable to the team, Mahomes or LeBron? Danny, take your pick.
I want to go super fast because I just want to get to Nick's answer because I can't wait to see where he goes. I think this is easy, and a lot of it's by position. Quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. If you take LeBron off the Lakers, they can still go to the playoffs and make a really deep run with Anthony Davis. With the Chiefs, if Patrick Mahomes is not on that team, they are not anywhere near as good and probably miss the playoffs.
It's LeBron. Without a doubt, it's LeBron. I was in Cleveland when LeBron was there, and they won. He left, and they lost. And he came back, and they won. And he left, and they lost. In Kansas City, they were winning before Patrick Mahomes got there. They're still winning now. It is hands down LeBron.
Wow.
All right, I want to make this very clear. I'm very irritated with the producers for putting this in the show. It's an unfair position to put me in. The only way to make it any harder is somehow throw Tiger Woods in there as well, and you've got my 3 favorite athletes potentially ever. But Coach is right. You remove either one of them.
Say it again. It sounds
Coach
so
is
good.
right. The answer is LeBron, and here's why. You remove either one of them, their teams can't win a championship. That's very clear. But the Chiefs did win multiple divisions with Alex Smith, who's not a superstar quarterback, but with Andy and those weapons, they were a good team. LeBron, it's not just Cleveland. He leaves the Heat. They go from 4 straight finals appearances to out of the playoffs. Cleveland happened to him twice. Before he gets to the Lakers, they're the worst team in the league for 6 years. You say they'd go on a deep playoff run with just Anthony Davis. Pelicans never were able to do that. So no, the answer's, as much as I love Patrick, the answer is LeBron James. He's the most valuable person in all of teams.
You guys are devaluing the importance of quarterback.
Well, but quarterback is equivalent to NBA superstar.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Danny's quarterback bias. Danny's quarterback bias.
Des Bryant says he wants to return to the Cowboys in a Jason Witten type of role. Last year, Des was signed by the Saints, but he tore his Achilles in practice. Who's a better fit for Des next season, Dallas or New Orleans? Danny, take your pick.
First of all, I just want to say I hope he gets that opportunity. I was out of the league for 2 years and got another opportunity, and that's all he's looking for is a chance to compete. I hope he gets it because it is really a tough realization to come to, especially when you're only 31 years left and you still have something to give to the sport. I think the better fit is the Saints. I think the Cowboys should give an opportunity, but I think the Saints are the better fit. Sean Payton already brought him in once, was willing to kind of take that risk, and unfortunately had the Achilles injury. If he's healthy, though, I think Payton is more willing. He's a little bit more creative, a little bit more open-minded, I would say, than Mike McCarthy as far as finding a role where you can actually use Des Bryant, where I think it might be a little bit more challenging for Mike McCarthy.
I agree with you. I love a comeback story, and I'd love for a guy to get an opportunity, but I don't know if I'd be lobbying with, I want the Jason Witten type role if you think that role is an underachieving role. That's a hard sell for an organization. I'd say the fit probably is better in New Orleans than it is in Dallas, just because he could go in and play some type of smaller, impactful role.
I don't think he's going to have a big impact anywhere, so I'm rooting for Dallas just because it's more fun for us.
Yeah.
I think add more uncertainty to that locker room. Dad's a bit of a live wire. I just like to see how it plays out. I don't think he's even a 500-yard receiver at this point anyway, but Witten didn't have to be for him to get his job back, so I say the Cowboys.
I think he was trying to say, I'll play a role. I don't need to be the wide receiver who's asking for more catches. I think that was his point, more so than...
I think you're right.
I would forget the tight ends also have to block. I mean, I know we totally limit that, but he's a pretty good blocker.
Yeah.
All right, Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in NFL history without a Super Bowl ring. On the other side, Kyle Shanahan in first Super Bowl as head coach. So who would you rather have on your sideline in Super Bowl 54, Reid or Shanahan? Danny, take your pick.
I think it's fairly easy. You always have to lean on experience in this place. And Andy Reid has been in this position before, and I know Kyle's been there as an offensive coordinator, but it's a whole nother ball game when you are the head coach. And even though Kyle has some very experienced minds that he can pick and pick their brains, and Mike Shanahan and John Lynch, you got to go with Andy Reid. The consistency with which he's been in this position in the playoffs, knowing what it's like, you got to go Andy Reid.
Yeah, I'd lean the same way with Andy as well, just because of the experience. And when you go to it the first time, there's so many unknowns, and you make mistakes because of the moment and the time of the game and all the different things that you have to really experience to understand. So if we're going to go edge, I'd go slight edge Andy because of what he has.
It is the slightest of edges, and I really like Andy Reid, and I think he has a Hall of Fame resume, even maybe if they don't win the Super Bowl. But I think you make a very strong case right now. Kyle Shanahan's the second best coach in the NFL. You can maybe make the same case for Andy, by the way. And so, again, this is not a knock on Andy at all. I think these are the two best offensive minds in football. Kyle hasn't shown me the propensity for the late game clock management or challenge issues that Andy has that always concern me a bit. So, again, we're picking amongst some of the greatest doing it right now. But I think Kyle Shanahan is the coach a lot of people acted like Sean McVay was. Well, I think he actually is.
Although Sean McVay was going into the the Super Bowl.
That's what I was just going to say. The greatest of all time. We rolled through those pretty quick.
Yeah,
now it's the offensive
young
mind.
Genius, mad scientist.
Listen, there's
now
only ever
McVay
been
can't
one
coach.
true
It's
young
amazing.
genius as an NFL head coach. It's the guy sitting next to us.
Yeah, coach.
Nick, this is great.
Yeah, you're my guy.
I don't know what you ate this morning, but
New
keep
year,
it up.
new
Yeah,
Thanks
love
for
it.
hanging out
Great.
with us, Coach. Much appreciated. Take a break. Coming up is Tom Brady taking his last snap for the Patriots. Still ahead. First things first.